Hi everybody, welcome to USA Hockey Arena in Plymouth, Michigan. USA Hockey Arena is the home of the National Team Development Program. I'm Pete Krupsky and pleased to be talking today with Rod Braceful, the Director of Player Personnel for the NTDP. And Rod, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me on, Pete.
You were here as an Assistant Director of Player Personnel a few years ago. You went to the Chicago Blackhawks as a scout. You're in the National Hockey League. Why come back here as the Director of Player Personnel?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I've gotten that question quite a few times, but I would say as the Assistant Director, I enjoyed my time. It was a great 3 years. I worked with Kevin Ryder and Seth Appert and John Roboleski were coaches here. Adam Nightingale and Dan Muse were coaches here. We had really good groups here, and I think as the assistant, you think the progression is to become the director. I had a unique opportunity that I was thankful for to go to the Chicago Blackhawks. I did that for a couple years, and then the director job opened back up. So one of those things where you've always thought about doing the job, it was just perfect timing where I could come back into this role.
Great segue, because we're talking about perfect timing. We just selected a brand new National Team Development Program group, the 08s, which will be starting in August as U17s. I just want to talk about that selection process. This isn't an open tryout where anyone can try out for a team, right?
Yeah, we had 47 kids that were invited from all over the country. We had a couple of Americans actually playing north of the border in Canada at some academies and for some AAA programs there. It was great. The camp went really well. We're really excited about this next group. I think the challenge is always you can only be in so many places at one time. Fortunately enough, David Nyes, who's our assistant director, he's helped support us through this and helped me and our other scouts, as we have some NTDP scouts that are spread out between the East Coast, Midwest, and West Coast, helped us gather as much information as possible in this 2008 birth year. We had a great camp, and we've selected our team, and we're looking forward to the bright future ahead for USA Hockey.
And those selections will be published at some time in the very near future. So what age do your scouts start identifying players to come here and try out?
Yeah, so it's a 2-year process. So this year was the 08 evaluation year, but the 09s are the underage, as we call them. So David Nyes, along with some of our scouting staff, they've gone to some of the major events for the 2009 birth year, but also in different markets, you have some of those players playing up. So whether it's Minnesota High School or New England Prep School, if you're a 2009 who's a freshman that was playing varsity high school, well, we saw you as we were continuing to watch the 2008 birth year. So there's some events that happen to cross over that way.
Do you find some scouts really pound the table for their players, really urge you to pick them or at least bring them to the camp?
Yeah, I would say actually it's a luxury that we have now. USA Hockey has gone a long way to develop better players, and especially in different markets. And I would say now more so than maybe 20 years ago, we have a lot of good hockey players. So it makes our decisions tough. It makes our conversations a lot harder, but it's also a really good thing because as a whole, you know, we'll have 23 players that just get the first opportunity here at the National Team Development Program, but we are still going to have, 23 to 50 more outside the program that continue to take steps no matter where they play.
So if a player isn't selected, that's not the end of the world, is that correct? I mean, a lot of them, we see them play in the United States Hockey League all the time. It's just a step in the road, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. The players that weren't selected in this 08 group, they actually will be able to go to Buffalo and attend the national camp along with the other players that weren't invited to our NTDP evaluation camp. And they're going to contend for a spot on the Five Nations team. And I think what USA Hockey does a really good job at is giving the opportunity to wear the jersey, but also a development piece, not only just here for our 23 players here that we selected, but also having a team attend the Five Nations in August. And then next year it's the same where they would be able to vie for a spot on the Hlinka team.
So a brand new team reports here in August. They're 15, 16 years old. Probably within a month, they're playing United States Hockey League teams who are always bigger, faster, stronger, older. Is that a disadvantage?
No, I think we have some advantages. I think everything happens pretty quick. They all want to go play at the next level, and it's also sometimes it happens fast for them. Not only just the level on the ice, but also the off ice, the training, the moving away from home, the academics. You know, they're actually kind of turning their lives upside down. It's a great opportunity, but it's a lot that goes into it, not just the hockey piece.
So they're not just coming here in the morning playing hockey and video games. There's school, there's off-ice training, there's everything else, and I've talked to other people. Sometimes it's a 12-hour day between everything that they do on a daily basis.
100%. We have a saying, we want the best players, but also you have to be a good fit here, because it is a hard program, and there are so many things that are, you know, challenging, not just on the ice, but off the ice. You have to keep up with academics. You have to be a good person. You're obviously staying with the host family. And we want well-rounded kids. That's what makes our program really unique, is we get a lot of good players in here, but they're well-rounded people, and they go from young men and they graduate our program and become men.
Do you find a U17 team playing against the United States Hockey League teams, then they go back and play against their own age group? That can be a bit of an advantage, because all of a sudden they're playing their peers and maybe they played them at some other time.
100%. We're teaching them how to handle adversity and how to fail. There's a lot of failure up top right when they get here. Playing in the USHL, it's the best junior hockey league in the world, but they're playing against 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. And then when they get pushed, you know, they're trying to figure out how to be the best versions of themselves in those games. So when they go to the U17 Challenge, which will be the first international event, year one, they're now playing their own age group. And they can see how much has changed and how all the pushing and adversity and hard work that they've done the first couple months, now playing their own peers, how effective it is.
One last thing, we'll let you go. You talk to scouts and they talk about the age groups by birth years. You know, the 01s that played here, Jack Hughes and all those, would outscore you. The 02s with Jake Sanderson and Matt Beniers would out-defense you. They would keep the scores down. How do you see the 08s?
Really excited about the 08s because we have a lot of variety. I think we have some goal scorers, we have some playmakers, we have some defensive defensemen and some offensive defensemen. Two good goaltenders that we're really encouraged by. I think variety is really good. I had the fortune of being a part of the 04 and 05 groups, and I think that they had variety. You know, the 04 group, they made it all the way to the end there, but unfortunately they didn't win, and the 05 group winning gold. And then half of each having the opportunity to win a gold medal this past year in the World Junior stage. I mean, it's a bright future for those age groups and for USA Hockey to come, and I think the 08s will be a part of that.
Rod, thanks for your time. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk again.
Thanks, Pete, for having me.